Well, hello, welcome again to a reading of some Lysias, and I've been reading through on the murder of Eratosthenes and got up to section 41. So, epete o Andres, uk an doko humin tois epitedeois methemeron parengalai, kai kelusai autus solegenai esoikean ton philon ton engutato. I might just hold it there for a bit. And so then, O gentlemen of the jury, we get this idiom here, it's uk an doko humin. So, do I not seem right to you? So I think it's probably best to paraphrase that slightly into English. So, do you not think that I should? And this is all a question, as we see from the end here. So, then, O gentlemen of the jury, do you not think that I should have, and we get an infinitive, parengalai, sent a message, methemeron, during the day, to my acquaintances, to my friends, kai kelusai autus, and to bid them sul legenai. This is an aorist passive from sul lego, to gather or collect together. So to gather together into a house of friends, the one that was nearest. So in other words, ought I not then to have sent a message to my friends during the day to bid them to gather together into perhaps one of the houses of my friends who was nearest? Malon a epedetakista eis thomen tes nuktos peritrekein. So rather than, the epedetakista here, probably something like as soon as. It's literally when quickly, or since quickly. So as soon as, eis thomen, from eistanamai, as soon as I perceived, understand that Eratosthenes was in the house. So rather than, as soon as I realised what was going on, peritrekein, to run around, tes noctes, during the night, uk eidos hontina oikoi, katalampsamai kai hontina exo, not knowing whomever I might find, from katalambano, I think it just means to run across, to find. Oikoi is that old locative from oikos with the iota, meaning at home. So it's not a nominative, it's an old locative. So not knowing whom I would find at home, and whomever exo, out. So whoever I might discover was out. Kai hos harmodion men, kai ton dana elthon uk epi demuntas, then in brackets uga aide, and then we get balancing men with de, heterus de uk endonontos katelabon, hoios, hus de hoios te a labon ebadisdon. And I came to Harmodius, and kai todana, we've seen this before, it's an idiom, it just means such and such a person. So I came to would say etc. here, so I came to Harmodius, etc. And not them not being in town, so who were not in town, for I didn't know this. So I went to Harmodius's place and so's place, but they were not in town, and I did not know this, and I realised others not being at home, not being within. So I also found that there were others who were not at home, whose, and some, now this is the hoios te ami idiom. So having taken those whom I was able, I made my way from Badisdo. So having taken those as many as I could, I made my way. I continued on. Kaitoi ge a proadi uk an doka humin kaithera pontes parascu asthestai kaitoi spilus parangai hinhos asphelestati men autos eis aia tiga aedi tikakenos e kisiderion brackets. So hold it there. And kaitoi, moreover, in fact, we've got a nice get there. If I had known beforehand, this is from pro and oida, if I had known beforehand, now we get this ukan doko humin idiom again. So do you not think that I should also parascuas asthè, to have made ready the servants, and parangalai, to have sent a message to my friends, hina, in order that I myself, eis aia, I myself might go in, might enter in, understand, to my own house, asphelestata, most safely. We get a superlative here from aspheles, and then in brackets for I knew if that man had, so did I know if that man had, I think the tick goes with siderion, some literally iron, probably a knife here. So it's a question. So did I know if that man had a knife? Hos metaplaiston, so that metaplaiston de maturon ten timorian epoi umain, so that I might exact my vengeance, I might get vengeance with the greatest, with the greatest number, really, of witnesses. Nun de uden eidos. Now, nun in the sense of at that time, so rather than now. So at that time, knowing nothing, ton esomenon ekene te nukti, of the things being about to happen on that night, parelabon, I took with me hus hoios te as many, those whom I was able. So I took with me those whom I could. Kai moi enabati tuton martyres. Now he addresses, this is the third person plural here, so you witnesses of these things, please take the stand. Anabati, from anabino. And again, we just have martyres, we don't know what the witnesses said, we just have martyres here. So the last sections, this is sections 43 to 50, this is a recapitulation of the arguments and also, of course, a direct appeal to the jury itself. This is known as an epilogos, like that word epilogue, of course. Ton men marturon ake koatio andres. This is a perfect from akuo. You have heard the witnesses, O gentlemen of the jury. Skepsas the de pa humin autois hutos peritutu tu pragmatos. So this is that verb from skeptomai, so it's to have a close look at. So make consideration. The parahumon autois that all goes together here. It's something like in your own minds, to yourselves. So it's something like make consideration to yourselves or in your own mind, hutos, in this way, regarding this matter. Cetuntes tis emoi kai Eratosthene echthra popoti genetai plain tautes. Seeking out, so perhaps inquiring or finding out, if, the tis goes with the echthra, I think. So if there was any hostility had taken place popoti previously for me and for Eratosthenes, plain tautes, except for this occasion. Well, it's except for this act of echthra. So seeking if there was any enmity between me and Eratosthenes, which had previously taken place, except for this one. Udemian ga huresete, for you will find nothing. And it's feminine again, agreeing with the echthra. So you won't find any. Now we get a string now of these utis, which are meant to be quite powerful and meant to give a strong, very emotive argument here at this point. So he's going to say that there was no good reason why I should have killed him. There was nothing going on between us behind the scenes. He claims later that he had never even met him until this night. So utiga sukaphanton grapsas me egrapsato, uti ek balain ektes polios ek keresen, uti idias dikas edikasdeto, uti sunedon kakon uden ho ego de dios metis puthetai epithumunauton apolesai, uti aetauta dia praximain elpisdon pothen cremata lepsesthai. A long string of utis. For neither did he. Now this is grapho in the middle, graphomai plus graphos. So it's an idiom again, to indict me. So neither did he indict me. Now sucrophanton is the form is ambiguous here. It could be a genitive plural, meaning a genitive, among, partitive genitive. So as one of those informing, perhaps against him, or giving information against him. Or it could also be a participle from sycophantio. It's a funny word. We get a word sycophant from this, of course, but it can have the sense of blackmailing or bringing a false charge against. So for neither, so it's either means, neither did he indict me among those who were informants, or it could mean, which I prefer, is to take this as a participle, for neither did he indict me, he blackmailing me, or perhaps bringing a false charge against me. So in other words, I had no particular reason for killing him, is his main argument here. And nor did he cast me out. Sorry, the main verb is epekeresen. Nor did he put his hand to, so nor did he attempt to expel me, understood, from the city, nor did he bring a private lawsuit, as opposed to a public one. So a graphe is a public legal action, and this is a private legal action. Nor sun aide, from sunoida. So was he aware of any evil thing, any bad thing? Greek says no bad thing. Nor was he aware of any bad thing which I, dedios is a participle from dedia, to fear, so which I in fear, lest someone might perceive it, then I would desire to kill him. uti etauta dia praximane, nor it's sort of almost not even, even if I had done all of these things, so even if I should have accomplished these things, Aelpidzon, did I have the hope, leipsesthai, this is the this is from Lambano, leipsmai, this is the future infinitive after the verb of hoping. So nor did I have any hope or expectation to receive money, pothin, from somewhere. So I didn't kill him because I was going to get money from somewhere. Enioi ga toi uton pragmaton henica thanaton alelois epibuliusi. For, on account of such matters, certain men plot to a death against one another. In other words, there are situations where people do this thing, but not me. Tos utu toi nun de e loideria e paroinia e alai tis diaphora heimin gegogenai hosti udi hierakos e ton anthropon popoti plain en ekane te nukti. Now this is the use of de here in the sense of deo, it is lacking. And so this again is an idiom here, literally, therefore it lacks so much. So it was so far removed from either, in other words, it had nothing to do either with a loideria, with a quarrel or abuse, or paroinia, or drunkenness, so a drunken rage, nor any other diaphora, nor any other disagreement to have taken place for us. So it was so far removed from all of that. Hosti, so that I had never seen him. Now we get the a here with a perfect. So this is a periphrastic perfect here. This is from horao, perfect participle with a. So it's actually a pluperfect periphrastic. So that I had never seen the man, popoti, ever, plain, except on that night. Tian un bulominos ego toiuton kindonon kindunuon a me to megiston ton adikematon a hubauto adikomenus. Now this again is a question. So why therefore would I willingly have run such a risk? So kindu nuo with kindunon. So why then would I willingly, or wishing, or it could also be wishing what thing, but I think it's why would I willingly run such a risk, except that, now we get another pluperfect periphrastic use of the verb here with a adikemenos. So unless I had been wronged by him in respect of the greatest of wrongdoings. So why on earth would I have run the risk of killing him? Why would I have made such a risk except on the grounds that I'd been very badly wronged by him? And then he says above, I hadn't been. Epater, and then having myself parakalesas, having invited witnesses, a sebun, from it's from a sebio, and then having called, I myself having called all these witnesses, this is all part of the question, did I begin to act impiously, exon moi, this is an accusative absolute from ex Amy, and it puts it into the accusative. It's like a genitive absolute, but it's an impersonal verb, so you put it into the accusative. So it being lawful, but being possible for me, if I desired to kill him unjustly, to have none of these people, well, knowing with me, so knowing what was happening with me, so being privy to it. So just to finish, do that last bit again. It's a complicated bit. It's all a question. So why would I then willingly run such a risk, except on the grounds that I had been wronged by him with the most terrible of wrongdoings, and then I myself, having called witnesses, it's still, why would I begin to act impiously when it was possible for me, if I desired to kill this man, or kill him unjustly, it was possible for me to have none of these privy to it along with me. So that's the end of that little section, and we have one little short bit to go in the last recording.